pressed going live.
Okay.
I don't have to record actually because we just leave the live up. Once that's live on the YouTubes, I will let you know.
Says meeting is now live on YouTube.
It sure does. It is live on YouTube. Excellent. Okay, now I copy the link and then I post in the Patron.
Yeah.
It's a whole fucking involved process.
This is a whole rigmarole.
Thank you so much to all of you who sit through the first 45 seconds of this every single week because you refuse to watch live. So you just rewatch on the YouTube and then have to sit through us sputter through it. But
it's even better because they skip over it. It's the people watching live that are fucked.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, we're doing nobody favors, to be perfectly honest.
Well, it's always like anytime you go live on anything, there's that few couple of minutes where you're like, hey, everybody, I'm just going to get ready for this. It's always slow.
That's
no one goes live and they're like, hi, everyone.
Dude, on Twitch, it's the same way. It's like the first 5 minutes are just unwatchable.
You know how I knew that it's like across the board everybody is I watched The Rock and he did his cheat meal and the first like 8 minutes were like, this sucks. I was like, yes, this sucks. I was almost so pumped. I was like, he's just like kind of dumbly looking into the camera and being like, hey.
I mean, if you look at the image of all three of us, there's not a less engaging thumbnail in the history.
We all look so out of it.
Mike looks like he's reading for the first time. I look like I'm fucking sad about something. And Brendan looks like he's looking at me sad about something.
I feel for my friend.
How does that make that way? It chooses the
I guess
thumbnail.
it's like it.
Oh my God, I'm looking at it now, and it is truly the worst version of us that we could possibly put out.
I'm like this.
I feel like the thing to do is like when it says the thumbnail or something, maybe we all like when you press going live, we all have to be like, or something like that. We'll figure it out.
All just find out comedy's not coming back till 2021 in that thumbnail. That's what it looks like, that we all are just like, just taking a deep breath of failure.
That whole thumbnail is like us being like, are we gonna have to Zoom forever?
The chat's cooking. We got a bunch of people already in there. So what's up, everybody? Thank you for joining. Despite the fact that this is, I understand if we have lower numbers this week because this is the recap episode of Legion of Skanks, and obviously we have a bunch of crossover there, especially with our live viewers, but they're basically recapping Big J getting dosed by acid. So totally understand if you're tuned into that, but fuck it. We're here right now doing our live episode. So welcome everybody to What's the Scenario, a Patreon exclusive podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Cannon. With me as always
is Mike Feeney and also
Brendan Sagalow.
That's right. Brendan, would you care to take another whack at describing this thing, at giving the pitch to the people that are tuning in for the first time?
I would not, because I'm not ready to. Also, I don't know how well my internet is right now. I'm literally looking around to see if anything is on.
Brendan's panicking right now because he just goes, I don't know how well my internet is.
It's most well.
I don't say good ever anymore.
You don't.
I'm afraid that I'm gonna do the opposite.
Fair enough.
I'm afraid I'm gonna mess it up.
Yeah, you're not gonna say it well.
There
you go. All right, so I'll take a whack at it since Brendan has the self-confidence of a 13-year-old.
I just don't want to do it. I'm confident enough that I don't want to do it.
Even worse.
Yeah. Oh, cool. So you don't want to
actually
shut up, Feeney. You haven't once liked this show, Feeney. You're on fucking Pornhub right now.
I helped come up with the tagline. That's what's gonna sell this show Bible, baby. The one that Mike and I have been working on without you.
Yeah, the show Bible. It's by Mike Feeney and Mike Cannon, consulting Brendan Sagalow sometimes.
When his internet works.
Yeah, when his internet works. We haven't had a successful meeting all the way through because he kind of just in the middle of every big thought. Well, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, What's the Scenario is obviously it's on Patreon, but it's a hypothetical based podcast. So we give what if scenarios, questions that we field from our patrons, and so basically a comedy obstacle course, as we like to say, that you guys help build. So you are completely the contractors, that carpenters. You build
We're
it.
the carpenters.
We're the No, are they the carpenters though? Because they build it. We're kind of the monkeys that swing on whatever they build.
We build it too, though.
All right. Well, yeah,
So-
this episode especially. We are builders. All right. So we're builders. See, I fumbled just as much as Brendan would have.
Yeah. We're all human.
Yeah, we're all human beings. That's the point of the show.
That's
so
point of the show.
that's the point of the show. So Brendan's going to kick this off. We, on our live episodes, take questions, comments, and threats from our chat every once in a while. But this is the only episode that we entirely bring the questions. So go ahead, Brendan.
All right. First question. I think this is a good one. What if you saw your former teacher panhandling on the street? What would you do? You saw a former teacher panhandling.
It totally depends what teacher. Because honestly, dude, if it was like Mrs. Lane, who I had in 5th grade, who just her and I could not have possibly we just didn't mesh well at all. If I saw her, I would have been like, I would punt her cup directly out of her hands. I'd be like laces out and just absolute fucking blast that thing across the street.
There were some
That's such a funny
teachers
visual.
that I really hated, but I can't like remember why. You know, I think
Yeah.
I just probably wasn't doing good in their class and they weren't really nice and were like, I know you got a C, but let's give you an A. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, fuck you then.
Dude,
I
did
think
I
they
ever
were just doing their jobs.
did I ever tell you guys that I had to go to like Sylvan Learning Center? Feeny, have we talked about that?
You went to a learning center?
Yeah, dude, because in 5th
Me
grade,
too.
my teacher was so
Brendan,
terrible.
that's
Brendan,
not a
we get
reveal.
it. Yeah, that is just Nassau County for the most part. But I'm whatever.
Yeah, you're a real smart guy. That's what everybody says about Mike Cannon. Real smart guy.
Killer. First of all, killer insult. You tried to like really color it up and come up with something creative, but you said smart guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Eminem's bonus track.
Seems
off
like
of
it
his most
actually
recent album.
affected you a little bit.
No, why would that affect me? It couldn't at all. But
Did
math,
you get those
I am.
magnets,
What?
like the learning center magnets that they would give you, and like you'd go up the pyramid. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. No, I don't.
Did you go to
I don't.
like Huntington
Me?
Learning Center?
I went to Sylvan. So there was a Chinese one, which I probably should have gone to. I think that it might have been Wuhan math. I don't know if that's true, but it sounds right now. But it was something like that. And then Sylvan Learning Center was the other one. And I went and they explained I couldn't do long division. There was like a wild actual block in my brain for long division, and they taught it to me that one day that I went in, and then I did well on the test, but I had to stay for a few weeks just to like secure the fact that I was ready for 6th grade.
What was
Yeah.
what was your worst subject
Math,
in general?
for sure.
I was math
Yeah.
too. Math and
Me
science.
too.
Yeah. I just didn't give a shit. I like as soon as it got complicated, I was like, I don't care. Even though like if anybody was to explain to us as kids how like all of life is math and like literally our entire reality is built by math and actually made it interesting and kind of like
Yeah.
struck us with like how important it was instead of being like you just fucking need it because there's money. Like that's all that's
Is that
all
how
I
your
heard.
teachers described it?
Yes, that's all they said.
Welcome to You Just Fucking Need It 101.
You need it because there's money.
Oh, math is fucking awful. But I remember the learning center. That was fucking cool. I remember the learning center thing was like if you passed, like if you were doing really well, they'd put your sticker on a pyramid, and if you got to the top of the pyramid, you were able to get a prize, and that was like huge for me.
What was
that
your
was like
prize?
my goal, and I I never got it.
Oh, yeah, I think I did have something like that. But the prizes were like the same as the dentist. You know how you get like the shit, like those plastic figurines that were so plastic they had like sharp edges that cut you.
a pre-toothpasted toothbrush so you can have it on the go.
Well, you know those army men that like clearly came in an assembly line of 100 and they just broke them off of each other, but then they had that like razor blade edge to the side of them. I used to like slice my arm with that shit when I got it from either Sylvan or the dentist.
When you were mad about what?
Yeah, when my parents fought.
Yeah.
Yeah, or that like big sticky hand with the sticky thing that was the best.
Oh my God.
That was the best one.
The amount of times I got sent to my room for slapping my sister in the eye with one of those fucking just whap. Like if you got perfect, like, you know, that was so hard to actually direct, but if you got perfect aim and it like hit somebody in a vulnerable spot, it could fucking hurt.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, or like slapping someone on the ass with it.
Yeah, it's kind of like an indirect me too, but you could just be like, "Oh, it got away from me." It's sticky.
I don't know what teacher. Like, I guess I would just keep walking. I'd be like, I don't remember any of it. It depends on if it was a guy teacher. I'd be like, that's fucking weird, because all the guy teachers I've had have always been like super confident, like also coaches, you know. So you're like, what the fuck happened? There was always a rumor that they were banging the students, you know.
Dude.
Which then I would be like, oh, I guess the rumor's true.
How didn't you end up playing sports? How didn't you end up playing sports if all your teachers were coaches?
No clue. They wanted me. They wanted me to play football so bad. They were like, "You've got a football player, please." And I'm like, "Oh shit, what happened?"
Oh, I love the fact that he recognized what was happening in the middle of it.
Fuck.
Yeah, that was a bad one. But hey, bud, you know, it's not like you could fix it, I guess.
I've tried many times.
It's so funny, dude. You're like, Brendan, you know who kind of reminded me of you while I'm watching Vito Jr. from The Sopranos? His little,
when he becomes all goth,
and then he shits in the shower and steps in it. I'm like, that is something Sagalo would have done.
Not in front of people.
I feel like you.
If I accidentally shit in the shower and I'm alone, I might give it a little steppy poo. But, not in front of people, though.
Oh, okay. Feeney, what would you do?
If I saw my old teacher, like I said, I would, first off, there's only like 4 teachers that I remember in my life. Like the rest of them, they could walk up to me and be like, "Hi, Michael, how are you doing? How have you been since 3rd grade?" And I'd go, what are you? I remembered, I remembered Mrs. Cassandra, Mrs. Johnson, and then Miss Ned. I remember like 6 teachers, and the rest of them, if they weren't cool, I forgot about them. If they were cool, I remembered them. So they were like the ones who were like mean assholes. I like can picture their face, but I don't know their names.
You can't name 1 through, like, when did you start changing classes? Like 6th grade?
Yeah.
So you can't name your kindergarten through 5th grade teachers?
Kindergarten, not at all. 1st grade, not at all. 2nd grade, not at all. 3rd grade was Mrs. Cassandra. 4th grade,
wow,
Mrs. Boucher. 5th grade, Mrs. Johnson. Those 3 I remember because all 3 of them were super cool. 3rd grade, they gave like the students like some hamsters, and then the 4th one, my mom bribed her with Starbucks coffee a bunch, and she was super cool. She was like the best. And then 5th grade, she was hot and had no idea how to run a class, and then that's when my mom went to the school and to like give me my lunch or something, and then saw how ill prepared that woman was to be a teacher and how she was running her class. And it directly and only led to me going to private school immediately after that because of how bad of a teacher she was. She was literally like feet up on the desk, flipping through a magazine while there were like kids like doing like Lord of the Flies. There was like, there was like a kid in a cage swinging from the top. It was pandemonium.
Dude, here's the thing. The early non-memory, I mean, you were 100% molested. If you have no
because it's not only just that, like 7th and 8th grade, like I remember one of the teachers, I don't remember his last name, but I remember that his first name was Lars, so we just used to call him that because it pissed him off so much. Dude, what's up, Lars?
Is there any better feeling as a high school kid to find a beta adult and exude dominance over them? Like,
yeah, he was pissed about it. He looked like
some fucking nerd teacher.
He looked like a European Jim Halpert, essentially. Like he had that whole vibe where he was like, he could do this cool thing where he would spin his pen around on his hand, like while he was bored. And I tried to do it 1,000 times and it just kept falling and making noise.
That's very difficult to do. Dude, my German teacher was named Mr. Alexander, and he looked exactly like Flanders to the point where I'm talking like except he had a beard instead of just a mustache. But his haircut was the same. He wore a pink button down under a green fucking like cable sweater often, like, pretty often. He looked exactly like him. And I was a sophomore and there was a senior in my class, same kid who actually punted a pencil and it stuck in my fucking face. Like it just missed my eye and just went and like I still have a blue fucking mark in my face from the lead or whatever is still in there. But this kid, his name is Fitz. He was just such a menace to this teacher. He was just like, "Hey, say giggity," or say, hidely doodly. And he was like, "No." And he's like, "Say diddly." And he's like, "No." And he's like, "Say another thing." And he's like, "No." And he goes, "Say no." And he's like, "Get out." Like he just panicked and fucking kicked him out of the class. We'd constantly get kicked out, and we copied off of this girl, Tara Fridhandler, every fucking day or every single test. And me and my buddy Rob both had 99 averages and couldn't speak 6 words of German.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh my God.
Brendan, do you remember every teacher you've ever had?
No, not every teacher. Just my first grade teacher was Miss Piazza, I think was her name. And then cut to college.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
What? No fucking
there's
I remember Miss Flum.
Flum, that's a good one.
That's crazy.
There's no reason.
There was a woman named Miss Flum.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it was
Jesus fucking Christ. Hold on.
No, that was just you stopping talking. Dude, I think he panicked.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened. But okay, kindergarten, Miss Racine. First grade, Mr. Larkin. Second grade, Ms. Cornwall. Third grade, Mrs. Burke. Fourth grade, Mrs. Ross. Fifth grade, Mrs. Lane.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like that's so not. I remember most of my social studies in 6th grade was Mr. Goldstein. I had Mr. Who did I have for fucking 7th grade? I remember all of my teachers all the time.
Whoa.
Wow. That's crazy.
Is it? I mean, I like have a lot of them on my actual like list of people to hurt. as Mario puts it, dude, Mario is like every time he has like 4 beers in him, he's like, that person's on my 2-week list. And I'm like, what is that? What is that? He's like, it's when they tell me I have 2 weeks to live and all hell goes like breaks loose. And I'm like, well, that's the most frightening thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Dude, I bet you're on that list.
For sure he is. Mike's the first person on the list.
I think he really likes me. All right. Brendan, do you have any more questions?
Oh man, you're like the Joker.
Okay.
Yeah, your laugh just.
I do.
Brendan's gonna do his own show.
The internet is. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna lose my fucking mind because it hasn't been this bad in months.
Yeah. It's only been a little
all right,
bad.
Here's one. This is bad. This one's bad. Here's one. What if you were stuck in traffic for 24 hours? How would you stay awake?
By screaming, which is what I'd be doing the entire time I'm in traffic.
What's the longest you've ever driven for?
I did a road trip to Florida, so that was like 18 hours.
Right.
Did you
But
stop?
in a day.
Yeah, that was in one day.
Oh shit. That's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah. We only stopped for like gas and pissing and food, and that was it.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's
It was
wild.
the least fun thing we've ever done. I don't know why we didn't break it up.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely awful. I did 16 and a half hours, which should have been a 5-hour trip to Richmond, Virginia from New York. But it snowed like 1.5 feet, 2 feet, and every hotel on the highway was completely booked up from other fleeing fucking cars. And all these jackknife tractor trailers were like parked and abandoned in the snow, and people were walking up the highway. I took 120 milligrams of Adderall and was just like literally seeing through the snow. And I willed our way to fucking Richmond, Virginia. And as I turned off on our final exit, we were in the car for 16 fucking hours, besides like I don't even know if we pissed, but like as we turned off the final exit, I turned off and the car 360'd on the exit. So I thought I was going off the road and gonna die in the final stretch 5 minutes. And as I'm turning, like 400-500 yards away was a 16-wheeler truck coming to the exit, and I like Adderall maneuvered the car and like swung back onto the thing, and in one swoop got back onto the ramp and onto the road. It was insane.
Dude,
Yeah.
It's so funny when you're younger and that happens, and it's so dangerous. But when you're young, you're like, woo! Like the snow is like, it's so funny.
That's not the first time that's happened to me in the snow. I told this story early in Irish Goodbye, Feeney, but I drove to Geneseo from Rockland, and we were taking bong rips the entire time. And I drove some stranger that went to Geneseo and kind of lived near me. And I told him to just get a gram of weed and we're even for the ride. And we were smoking a bong. I was smoking a bong while going up there allegedly for fun. This is a made up story. But and I had a loose control arm in my right rear wheel, so the car would like fishtail every time it hit a bump, and I hit a pothole going 55 miles per hour in a dusting winter, and we turned entirely sideways, and I had the bong in my lap, and I just looked at my roommate and I go, "This is it." Like, dude, that's what came out of my mouth. This is it. And I'm just like, and we just kept going 50 miles per hour sideways down the highway. And again, I evasive maneuver, fucking fishtailed the car back onto the road. And then we took the next exit, brought it to a service station that just so happened to be right there. And my uncle picked us up, and we were like, it barely like cockeyed holding a bong. And he's like, "You guys are like, not, this isn't cool."
There's been so many times where I've been in like almost accident. That's why speaking of this is it. I've definitely.
Brendan liked the last part of my story. Feeney didn't laugh, but Brendan did 6 minutes later. And you know what? It still made me feel better.
Fuck.
That's still my favorite part of any Batman movie is the Dark Knight Rises, when Joseph Gordon-Levitt, they have the school bus full of kids that's on the Queensboro Bridge that's about to be blown up, and they're like, the bomb or whatever the fuck that Batman's trying to fly out of there is about to go off. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt, instead of calming the children down, instead screams, "This is it! This is it!" And then
that's right.
Prepares them for death. It's like, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I didn't think that was weird at all.
Screams, "This is it!" at children.
Oh, that's so funny. I never even considered that to be weird.
So what's your answer? Like, how would you stay awake if you were in traffic for 24 hours?
120 milligrams Adderall.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I answered it too. What would you do, Brendan?
Well, you don't know because I wouldn't have the Adderall on me.
Adderall?
You just are Adderall. My Adderall. So I guess I would just keep smacking my face and like getting out of the car and like walking with it a little bit, like
Oh, I mean,
ghost.
if you have no substances and you have to stay awake in traffic
Windows
because
open.
it's I
Windows
guess, but you're not physically going to do it. At some point, you're going to pass out. Like you have to just get the car off of the road. It's just not possible unless you have, some bumpies you could do.
I think you can stay up for 24 hours. It's just traffic would be terrible.
Brendan, I was going to ask Feeney, but it's not applicable. Brendan, have you ever done coke on a long road trip?
No.
Oh man, it's really fun. I drove from Geneseo to Gettysburg with one of my buddies, and like we were holding off. This was also while I was smoking cigarettes, so we smoked a couple cigarettes on the ride. We were holding off, but we took coke there, knowing that there was going to be a ton of coke. Gettysburg College has the most cocaine I've ever seen in my entire life. It was insane. But
Wow.
we were like, all right, when we're within 30 miles, we're going to do it. And then after it just kept expanding. And by the time we were like 65 miles out, we're like, we'll just take like a couple now and then kind of ease into it. And I'm pretty sure we finished the gram before we made it to the college.
Oh my God.
Yeah, between two of us, because we were just putting the CDs up and just blaring it off like raw nostril and then sucking butts like out the window, just like, talking about our last semester. It was the best conversation I've ever had in my life.
Do you remember any of it?
No. I remember how it felt.
It's so easy to go through coke, man. Like I could go through like a Scrooge McDuck vault of cocaine in 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
By diving nose first in it.
Yeah. Oh, my friends came to Geneseo to visit me, and I got an 8-ball for the weekend. And by Friday night, we were calling the coke guy. Like that's when my buddy answered the door. The coke guy came at like 3 or 4 a.m. and my buddy answered the door in his t-shirt and nude from the bottom down, like straight Winnie the Pooh with his dick out. And the coke guy was like, "Yeah, I'm never coming here again, dude." I was like, thanks, asshole. You both fucked me and kind of did me a favor.
Fucked me favor.
Right.
Yeah.
Next question. If they rebuilt the Twin Towers and you can get a job there that pays $150,000 a year, would you do it?
Well, I mean, what?
If they rebuilt the Twin Towers and offered you a job for and you make $150K a year,
Yeah,
would you take the job?
I mean, most jobs in that building would offer that much money or significantly more, since it's a financial building. It's basically, do you want to be a stockbroker or a banker? And no, I'm good. I'm good with doing Zooms to, one guy with an internet and the other guy with something else. So it's
yeah, it's cool that Brendan has the first ever rotary internet.
yeah. We have to send him more of those AOL discs.
Yeah.
This is fucking subscriptions running up.
It's making me so mad, dude.
Brendan, move your antenna.
Bring that energy to garbage days.
It will. My whole night is ruined.
You're recording garbage days after this?
Yeah. So it's just like I'm trying to make this room my own. I got the fucking LED lights. I got better Wi-Fi. I'm have a little office here, but it still feels fucking shitty when I have to go outside and be like, is anybody on the internet right now?
Sweetie.
What did they say?
I don't know. I can ask.
Oh, but I'm saying,
hold
I
on,
thought you went and asked them.
But didn't you get the booster? Didn't you guys get the?
No.
Yes, I did. I got the booster,
So
and
this
I
is-
got
So this is what you do.
upgraded.
So this is what you do. Before an hour before we do this, every time we record or you record for garbage days, reset your router no matter what. Just reset it so that it's fresh.
He
It's
can't
up.
reach his router.
It's downstairs. It's in my landlord's.
What about your
house.
booster? Can't you reset that?
It's not a real booster.
Yeah,
The thing
I
that you're
could.
talking about, Mike, is not what Brendan has. Brendan has like
I have a
some-
little square thing. with little antennas on it.
Yeah, they sell it in those clear glass stores in Times Square where people buy laptops for some reason.
Right next to the I Love New York t-shirts.
Yeah, that's where Brendan bought his gadgets, where the guy's like, it'll make everything good.
Oh no. Why didn't you consult us when you got that at all?
I didn't. Jess bought it for me.
That's what I'm saying. So he didn't get a booster. The thing that you're talking about, that we've been talking about him getting, like that secondary router thing,
right?
He had this before all the internet problems. But then your cable provider did up your internet, but it still isn't going to solve the obvious problem, which is that you guys need an upstairs router.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's the next issue. I will handle that.
It's the same issue forever.
Nope.
It's the one we've been talking about that you said you were going to go halvesies on with your roommates.
What other issue are you talking about, Brendan? Your eczema?
I needed to get better internet. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's making me upset. I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, you don't have a choice. Let's only talk about it now. I'll just keep circling back.
Choice.
Pro-choice. Your body.
Pro-choice. I'm changing. I'm transforming.
You've had an abortion, right? You have an abortion on your record?
Nope.
I don't believe that.
I don't know. I mean, no one's ever told me if I know.
Yeah.
I could. I don't. But I don't know if any girl I've ever slept with is like, I'm just gonna do it and not tell him.
Yeah. I've never aborted. I've never gotten there, but I did do the flush, the plan B.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How did it feel? Did it hurt your tummy?
It did. It gave me a rumble. Okay, Brendan, next question, if you can
muster the courage.
Damn. It's a shame Brendan's battery died.
It is fun because this does feel like I have a time machine, because Brendan is just 30 seconds in the past. Or maybe, wait, I can't tell if we're in the future or he's in the past.
I'm just having a good time watching him genuinely get frustrated. But everybody in the chat is having a very good time. They're all talking together. Somebody just said they have to create a different Gmail account because it's just their real first and last name. So I won't read that out, but that's hilarious. Everybody else is just having inside conversations for the most part. So guys, if you have any questions, shoot those out. But the chat is active, which is lovely. Brendan, next question.
All right. If you created a reality show, but it wasn't about yourself, what would the show be?
Benghazi.
What's that?
Are you kidding?
The Hillary of course I knew who my buddy Benghazi.
Yeah, you know, Benghazi. It's the Italian.
Yeah, he's the Italian kid in my math class.
Here's the thing, like I watch all those Netflix shows, like the Love at First Sight. That one might have been kind of perfect, like because it was so, you have to have that level of, oh, nope, I'm double backing on myself. The show Utopia was the most perfect reality show that never finished its way out ever. Do you remember that? So it was on like ABC or CBS, a major, maybe NBC actually, a huge network, and basically they bought like hundreds of acres of land, the network, and they're taking all these different people, like survivalists, a conspiracy theorist, a farmer, an agriculturist, like all these different types of specialty people, and their whole job was to take only a little bit of what they could, and then they had money to budget, but they had to create a self-sustaining place to live together. So basically like kind of a commune, and it was out of this land that they just gave them, and it was a fucking awesome show, and it cost them like $500 million, and they canceled it after like 5 episodes.
Damn, dude.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah, that sounds fun.
It was such a funny, I mean, this one guy who's still around New York, I think he hangs at the Sirius building. I forget what his name, but he was a cold gangster, and he almost like fucked up like 6 of the dudes. It was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
If I had a reality show, I would take 4 guys who met each other on Craigslist and put them in an apartment with terrible Wi-Fi and see what happens. See how they kill themselves.
Well, Brendan, we said it couldn't be an autobiographical piece. You see,
I know. I just want to see other people in pain.
Do your roommates ever complain about the internet?
Yeah, I think they do. I just give a shit. These guys don't fucking care about anything.
I think a good, fun one. It might be a very short series. Is let's go just right off my background here. You let a guy loose in the woods like Jane Goodall style and see if he can interact and get accepted by different sorts of families of animals. So like a pack of wolves, a pack of gorillas, a pack
Grizzly
of lion.
man.
What was it?
Grizzly Man.
What's that?
You've never seen Grizzly Man?
I mean, if I asked you, I guess I didn't.
Oh, Buster Douglas. That's another thing that we got to watch together because it's a documentary about this guy who is just very clearly gay, but he hates his father. He's me. But he goes into the wilderness to film a documentary on bears and they hibernate and he like basically kills himself via bear, goes into their den while they're hibernating, and you just kind of see it. You don't see it because the camera gets knocked down, but you hear him get torn apart by bears.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How'd they get the tape?
They just, I guess somebody went looking for him and they found the fucking camera in the cave.
That's
a good Brendan. I think you just revealed that the whole thing was fake just then. That guy's living on a beach in Miami right now.
Oh, dude, I can't believe you guys haven't heard of this. This is like a famous thing.
Grizzly Man, more like Margarita Man.
Yeah.
This is like an alternative version of that song Stan. Where it's like, oh shit, how am I supposed to send this tape out? Rawr, rawr.
Buffini, like, so yours would have loss of life.
I guess, but I would like to. It would ideally be. This is like you get one guy, and then you're like, all right, go, and now we're gonna. This season is wolves, and then we just see who can get in with the wolf family, and then as people get killed or even just maimed terribly, then we're like, all right, you're eliminated from the competition. Next person in, and we just keep doing it until we complete it, until someone successfully does it, and then we just do it, and then maybe we can do ones of like, like fucking octopus, like some fucking underwater shit where you got to have a little mask. That'd be cool.
Do you think, think if you had a high-tech octopus suit that you could just kind of like, could you court an octopus?
I don't think so, man, because the way they like do that thing where they bring all of their legs together and go fast in one direction. I don't understand how it propels them.
Harry Styles.
I think you could do what Feeney just said in a suit, which is make the suit go like this and propel. But I think octopuses are actually smart enough to know that you're not an octopus. They say octopus are one of the smartest animals. I think
is that what they say?
That's what they say.
That's crazy because they're not even an animal. So that's weird. They're like.
What do you mean they're not an animal?
Yeah, what do you think they are? A plant?
No, they're like what is the let me see what their actual category
Well,
is.
they're an animal.
They are an animal.
Yeah.
Category? How do
do you think they're but even if they're a reptile, they're an animal.
Yeah.
Well, I mean like a shark is not an animal. A shark
of course
it is an animal.
They're underneath a different thing though. What is it? What type?
No, it's all under the umbrella of animals. We are animals.
We're animals.
Other animals.
I mean,
sharks.
Brendan is definitely an animal.
I was one of those grizzly bears.
It's technically a fucking. It's called a cephalopoda. Wait.
Yeah, but
there's like there's species.
Cephalopoda.
Yeah, it's a different species, but it's an animal.
Yeah.
Weird.
Chat, what do you think?
Isn't it a mammal? Wouldn't it be a mammal?
No, a mammal is a hair. So a whale is a mammal. A shark is not.
Yeah.
Why?
A shark is cold-blooded and does not have hair.
Whales don't have hair.
Yes, they do. They have fine hairs on their body, and they're also warm-blooded. Same with dolphins.
Whales are warm-blooded?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Brendan,
I did know that.
Just that fucking.
I did know that. I knew you were gonna do that. I was like, don't agree, because then Feeney's gonna be like, Brendan doesn't know.
I like how you think my voice is your voice. Anyway, do you hear everyone in your own voice?
Brendan doesn't know. Skippity doo, whippity ba.
Is that Ian?
No, that's really close to you though.
It's a good Ian.
Feeny.
Yeah. Feeny. Oh, he got me good. Invertebrates. Invertebrates. That's what somebody just.
A skeleton,
but they're still
No,
animals.
invertebrates because they don't have the fucking bones because they're all wiggly.
Still animal though.
Yeah, and they definitely have sharks don't have a vertebrae at all.
No, sharks do. We're talking about octopus.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, they don't have a spine. That just means they're
Octopi.
without a spine. That's what your vertebrae is.
Occupada.
This is science with 3 tards.
All right. You want another question?
That should have been the real name of the show. Yeah, go ahead. Hold on. Let me read one quick one from the chat. So Lost in the Sauce, he says, if you had a time machine, where would you go to prove which historical event actually happened? That's a good question.
I would go to where Jesus, like, to see if I could find some Jesus, and then see what happened, and probably try to sneak into that dinner.
Yeah, Brendan's there and he's just fucking mowing through the bread. Everybody's like, I thought Jesus like, I wanted to give a full speech. You couldn't wait.
Yeah, my children, this is my can someone please quiet him down?
You have like grape stains on your teeth from the wine.
That was my blood. You guys want to play beer pong?
That needs to be a sketch or a movie. The Hungry Disciple.
It's just Chris Farley as a disciple. If he was still alive, they would have made that movie.
Oh, that is a great sketch idea.
Isn't it crazy to think about with Chris Farley when you're like, it's so fucking sad that he's gone, but man, would he have done a lot of really, really bad movies.
Yeah. I mean, Almost Heroes is terrible, yet it's one of also my favorite movie. Like, I think it's so
There's
funny.
that Jackie Chan one he did too.
Which one was that?
That was like one of his last ones, like the Shanghai Nights or some shit like that.
No, that was Owen Wilson. I don't think he did Beverly Hills Ninja, which was awesome. I love that movie. Chris Farley didn't do many bad movies. Actually, also Dirty Work. He was fucking hilarious in that. A Saigon whore bit my nose off.
This is insane because Beverly Hills Ninja, I guess I did get it confused with something else, but what's so weird is on Beverly Hills Ninja, it was announced that the co-star of this film would be Jackie Chan.
Wow.
And then they changed it.
So the guy from Mortal Kombat.
That's crazy. The guy who we don't even know his name.
Nope. He was handsome though. Handsome Chinese guy. Good cheekbones.
There was also one, I thought it was like a Western one. Like I picture him in the woods.
Yes.
And like
Almost Heroes. That's with Matthew Perry.
Oh,
wow.
God.
It's kind of a bad movie, but it's also hilarious. Like there's really funny parts. It's super dumb, but it's very funny. He's also hilarious. But Dirty Work, have you guys seen that with Norm Macdonald and Artie Lang?
I know that movie.
Holy shit, you got to see that. It's so fucking good.
Dude, Almost Heroes has, get ready for it, 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. 8.
I bet. That's
out of
wrong.
A possible 100.
It's really wrong though. Right? There are like no good comedy critics. Like they missed. I think Siskel and Ebert. They gave. What'd they give? They gave Ace Ventura like a half a star the first time they watched it. It's the only movie they went back to re-review because they got fucking absolutely trashed for not getting it.
I mean, just 8 is so comic. I've never seen something that low before.
Yeah, it hurt my feelings for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. All right.
You could literally carry that many tomatoes.
Yeah, rotten or otherwise.
That was way funnier than I gave it. I'm sorry, Brendan. I was reading something and I got lost in the sauce.
That's okay. I'm like completely stressed this entire episode because my Wi-Fi is going like this, and I'm like, don't even say my name, please.
Wait, your Wi-Fi is so bad you can see it?
Yeah,
that's how slow it is.
You can see the internet working.
Yeah, it's just an internet demon going like.
It's just instead of a hamster on a wheel, it's just a fat hedgehog on a wheel.
All right. What?
Let's do one more.
Where would you go? No, because you guys didn't answer. I said Jesus.
Oh, that's right. Feeney, where would you go?
I never heard the question. I've been trying to piece together what it might be based off of your guys' answers, but I haven't got one yet.
Where would you go to prove? When in history would you go just to be able to prove one event happened?
Oh, and that's why you said the Jesus thing, Brendan?
Mm-hmm.
And what'd you say, Mike?
I said nothing. I said, what do you think, Feeney?
Oh, well, I just heard the question, so allow me to think on it. Mike, go ahead.
I would be I would want to be a Nazi guard to watch Hitler kill himself. I would want to make
he had any guards with him there.
I also don't think anybody made it out of that bunker alive.
That's fine. That's fine if I don't. Just if I have that information.
So best case scenario, you die with Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Worst case, America kills you, or they make you a scientist.
Yeah. Then I work for NASA. You see.
Yeah.
Then I come up with vaccines.
Yeah. So true.
I feel like it'd be good to like explain. Well, you couldn't even do that. I was thinking like those Salem witch trials to go back and be like, you see, you fucks, you burned me alive. I wasn't a witch. I had a fucking headache, you assholes. I had a stutter. You burned me alive in front of my family. You brought kids to this.
My kids.
You ever watch or read 12 Angry Men?
Yeah.
Or not 12. And not is that it?
That's the movie. That's the Jurors one.
Yeah, that's not it. What's the one with
Walter Matthau?
Tituba. Was that 12 Angry Men?
Tituba Agarwal?
No. All right, forget it. Keep going.
What's the next?
What a weird group of answers, though. I said Jesus. Mike said he'd be a Nazi. Not even go there. He joined the Nazis.
Yeah. That's why I'd go a few years early so I could get in real good with them.
But you do remember the outcome, right? He
No.
doesn't win.
Well, it depends.
You're already on the winning side as you exist now.
Are you sure? Because I think a long perma vacation in Argentina sounds pretty sweet to me.
That's for you and Dave to talk about, pal. That's a different.
But that's a real thing. Haven't you seen those pictures of like literally Adolf Hitler in fucking Argentina? And there's so many cases of actual Nazis being found in Argentina.
I think there are people that went to Argentina, but I don't think the most infamous person ever to exist in our modern times got away and was living. I believe more when people are like, yeah, he's living on an island off Argentina with Tupac. You're like, get the fuck out.
That's horseshit. What he did was he shaved his mustache, grew his hair, and now he's Roseanne.
You think that a guy who was on the precipice of world domination's like, you know what? I'm cool with lying low the rest of my life. You're like, no.
I think so.
There's a person that wants to exterminate the world, and except for the fucking all the Jews and kill everybody else, there's no way they're going to be like, well, good game. I'm going to go to Argentina now. There's no way that fucking happened.
Yeah, and then also Argentina is just filled with people who aren't snitches at all.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, that guy's Hitler. But
they just take a picture of him. They take a picture of him, sit on it for 46 years, and then release it to the press on their deathbed.
No, it leaked a long time ago.
Get out of here.
I think you're wrong. There's a lot of remote places in Argentina that I think he could have just found a quiet beach and just hung out. You know, Hitler in shorts.
Mike wants to go back.
Dude, the idea of Hitler in beach shorts and like an open button down, kind of like looking out into the sunset.
I picture him still with the suspenders.
What a ridiculous image.
Yeah, he's drinking out of a fucking coconut.
Yeah, and he's like, wow, that was wild. What a trip. It's like, I can't believe I almost ran the world. Now I guess I will relax.
Do you want anything, Tupac?
Yeah.
Please play another one of your funky unreleased songs. Thank you.
Also, like, he's with somebody that everybody thought was dead. He's like with George Carlin or something. It's like, oh, imagine not like getting like, I don't know.
What?
Whatever, dude.
That wasn't even an internet problem. That was a brain problem.
I said what I said, and I'll say it again.
You didn't say anything. Say it the first time.
That was a kooky thing.
Everyone in the chat knows exactly what I'm saying. Okay, want to do one more, two more? What if this one's a weird one, but what if everyone on the earth jumped at once? What do you think would happen?
I really enjoy that.
That is the most delightful little trip I've ever taken, imagination-wise. Everything happened in that moment.
I know that it's crazy because we're on like thick, dense rock, but I do feel as though all the billions of people on the planet jumped at once. And here's more important. Took their hardest jump they could do, but all of us landed in sync, which would be very hard because of height and weight and time zones. But if we all landed at once, I think it would be a shockwave sent around the world.
That's
That would
what
be
would
awesome.
happen is the sun would blow up, and then all of our electrical grids would go out, and mayhem would ensue.
How long do you think we can survive realistically if immediately tomorrow the sun blew up?
0 days.
Yeah, maybe a couple of hours tops.
Yeah, I think it's
colder and colder.
Yeah, I'm thinking like before, let's say the sun blows up and it doesn't shoot sun shrapnel at Earth if it goes the other way. And so we just go into the darkness of it. And then the gravitational pull we just kind of start fucking orbiting, corkscrewing out into fucking no man's land.
Yeah.
I think it would be, I think the gravitational change that would take place of like how we wouldn't be spinning on an axis. So all of us would all be we wouldn't be able to walk right. It might spin faster.
We'd all be floating 100 yards above the earth, just being like, get us down. Like, it would just be a nightmare.
I think it would be like not even a week before all of civilization would just be eviscerated.
Oh, no, it's way less than a week. Way less.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah, I think it'd be like a day tops, and then we'd go through an ice age of sorts.
If you type in "if the sun" on Google, this is the prompt. If the sun blew up, how long would it take? That's it. How long? Okay. How long would it take? Okay. If the sun blows up, we would all die. And how long will it? Answer 1. If the sun were to blow up, life on Earth would certainly end. It takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds for light to travel from the sun to Earth. So we would not know the sun had exploded until 8 minutes and 20 seconds after the explosion occurred. So life on Earth would pretty much, as soon as the first sign of explosion arrived, life on Earth would end. So 8 minutes. So we get a good 8 minutes. That's a good question.
That's
how
great.
you spending those? How you spending those last 8 minutes?
A little long. Fucking.
I don't know. Yeah.
If I could find somebody, fucking.
Oh, Brendan just runs
and
outside.
Then what am I doing
like,
for the rest of the 7 minutes? Nice. Yeah,
Convoy.
dude. Convoy.
Well, that was our show, everybody.
Yeah, sure
Thanks
was.
for tuning in and watching. If you like the show, consider signing up for our Patreon, patreon.com/scenariopod. We put out almost 3 hours a week of content for you guys. Bunch of different tiers starting as low as $5 a month. and we think it's grand, and we think you will too.
Yeah. Plus, all of our content goes to the Patreon early. Everybody gets a sneak peek at the sketches we're doing, stand up, all this shit. I just found a video, old stand up video I just put up there. I just put something working out new bits. Feeney just put a sketch up there. Brendan puts his delivery boy stuff up there early. Just sign up, patreon.com/scenario pod. Thank you very much, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.